Alright, hello, and this is going to be a Lost Levels Warpless tutorial on just the Mario. I don't know Luigi that well, so I'm not going to be able to do a tutorial of Luigi. Sometime in the future, if I'm better at Luigi strats, I'll be able to do Luigi tutorials, but I can't do that since I'm not good enough. But I am good enough at Mario to where I think I can help people who aren't super experienced with the speedrun. This is a very fun speedrun to do. Very underrated. First place is about over a minute faster than 10th place, which comparing to other leaderboards like Mario 1 Warpless, where 10th place is only just 5 seconds or so slower than first place, somewhere in that area, then just shows how underrated this category is and how great it is in general. It's probably because this game's kind of like brutal with stuff, like taking hits. And this tutorial is going to go over recoveries in most of the areas where you can recover. So, yeah, we're going to start with, on the agenda on the left, we're going to start with the practice ROM. And that was made by Pelson. You can see the link of where you can find it up on the top of my game capture. I can also link the practice ROM down below. You're going to want to apply that to a Mario 1 ROM, not a Lost Levels ROM, just a Mario 1 ROM. And yeah, that pretty much covers that. So check that off the list. So it also has built-in save states. So that's also handy. So how timing works, I'll go into the main menu now. How timing works is since there are loads in between 4-4 and 5-1 for the game, on the original disc system, it loads Worlds 5 and onward after you complete World 4. Flashcards like EverDrives and Power Packs, it's faster, but since the amount of time it takes to load Worlds 5 and onward can vary from player to player, those are taken out of the RTA time, fortunately. So, see that's all we have for So I want to say about how timing works. World 1, we're gonna start with 1-1. My EverDrive is probably gonna crash a lot, so just bear with me. So 1-1, we're gonna go through. Now this is you can get the extra lives by this. You can just kind of get this mushroom, bounce it up here. You can definitely do this. I did it wrong, but you can bounce off this Koopa and like get a bunch of lives. You know, the infinite lives trick. A lot of people do that. But if you're like, this tutorial is gonna focus on like under 24-minute strats, so hopefully you won't have to get extra lives like the infinite life trick. But I will go over some 1-ups as well. So 1-1 you're gonna go through. You can't run under this Koopa as far as I'm concerned. Oh wait, you know you can. Never mind. I thought you couldn't. You can jump over under. You're gonna want to jump over this plant. The hitboxes are the same as in Mario 1, so you can jump over the plants fine. Make a save state there, just so I don't have to start at the beginning of the level. Jump in between those. You can hold back left if you don't feel comfortable enough to run completely forward, because you can run into the Koopas or Goombas, sorry, like that. So you can hold back left, like that. And some people like to take this top route. However, it's a tight jump to get by it optimally. Sometimes you'll see people just jump into the Koopa and reset. See, I'm not demonstrating it that well, but I typically do the bottom route. If you're fast enough, you can do this bottom route. Typically, you'll have to hold back left, or else you have to do a very difficult A press. But you can hold back left here and play the rest of the level pretty darn fast and actually save the optimal frame without flagpole glitch. So, I mean, I'd take the bottom route. Hop up here. I think you can hop actually like down there. I think I've seen people do that before, but I take the top route. Whatever works for you is perfectly fine. Sometimes there can be two Goombas here, and that will despawn these plants. Sometimes it only spawns this one. Sometimes it'll despawn both. I think I said spawn the first time, sorry. But yeah, basically, you can do a pipe jump here. Like I said, hitboxes are the same as in Mario 1, so you can do pipe jumps much easier than on the remastered All-Stars version. You can also just brush up on this pipe and go like that. Some people do some weird strat where they like go in the middle here. I can't do it that well, but and whatever works for you really. So next is this Koopa jump. You want to hop on this Koopa. I have no good visual cues on like where and when to begin pressing A and stop pressing A. Some people like to do like land on the ground and hop on the Koopa. You can't. I don't think you can. Yeah, you can't jump over because you'll run into the Koopa and you will die. So, or yeah, you could do that, but you will also. It's just highly recommended to hop on this Koopa. You bounce off of enemies higher in this game than in the original Super Mario Bros. So, and that does come into play in one of the levels later on in the game. So, hop on this Koopa. You can get this power up here. It is kind of fast to get, but it does make this level slower. And there's also much faster power up grabs you can get later on in World 1 that we're gonna get to. And also makes 1-2 easier to get through quickly. So I would recommend not getting that. But I have seen people do it before, so you can do this area a little in many different ways. What I do is I hop over this red Koopa and in between these two enemies, and I hop on the third step and jump all the way back up. Grabbing the top is faster than grabbing the bottom. You can also do some weird things, but whatever. Once again, whatever works for you is perfectly fine. So optimal. The fastest time you can get on the timer is 350. So we're heading into 1-2 right now. And I hope that's not the fastest time I've ever beaten World 1. So 1-2 is our first underground stage. I don't know if you can run under the Koopa. Some people have hopped on the Koopa like that. I mean, no other method loses time. So, you'll typically like wanna do a long jump, like on like this last block you see Mario walk on. Just do a giant A press, like a big A press. You can also, if you don't want to do that, you can just like wait at this pipe. But this is kind of an easy thing to do, so you can do that. Nice practice ROM sound glitch. So you're gonna want to hop on this Koopa or Goomba, sorry, and kind of facing backwards. Since Mario does move faster when he's facing the opposite direction which he's moving in, typically you'll want to just go have Mario face left, and once he hops on the Koopa, press right, and that's how you'll take advantage of Mario being able to move faster with that method. So, you can jump forward. People will do this in any percent because it sets them up for a good wall jump at the end of the level. But this is Warpless, and we're not going to be using that. So yeah, just hop in that Goomba. You're going to want to take the top route. The bottom route is full of piranha plants and tight areas, so I 100% recommend taking this top route. There's always, I think there's invisible blocks. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think there's invisible blocks. Yeah, there is one right there, that you can get to climb back up. But go up top here, and basically it's just a free ticket to the end of the level. You can see that's why we don't take the bottom route. You can go to the top. You'll go through the elevator, I'm pretty sure. I go to the bottom here. You can jump. You can jump on this one tile gap, but I don't entirely recommend it because you can press A on this one tile gap right here, and you can die. So I really wouldn't recommend doing that. So yep, we are done with 1-2. I think optimal is 345, around that area. So 1-3 and 1-4 is where we're going to get our power-ups, and I'm going to explain why you really want to get Fire Flower. I mean, it could just be for safety, but there's other reasons why we grabbed the Fire Flower. So this level, no ground on the bottom. You can actually like land on like the edge of that first elevator and run on the second one. I think if you like run on the entirety of the first elevator, you won't land on the second one. I think that's a sub-pixel thing. as to why you can't do that, but some people just jump here. Here's something I should have put on the agenda, but I forgot to talk about. Fireworks work differently in this game than in Mario 1. So how they work is, so in Mario 1, you know, it's the last digit of the timer is 1, 3, or 6. You'll get fireworks depending on which of those 3 digits you grab the flag on. But in this game, it's different. Say if my coin count's like 35, if I land on, let's say, 275, so the last digit of my timer matches the last digit of my coin count, I'm going to get fireworks. But the amount of fireworks works differently in this game. If the number is odd, you're going to get 3 fireworks, and if it's even, you're going to get 6 fireworks. Also, if you have a multiple of 11 coin count, and the last digit of your timer matches that multiple of 11, so say 33 coins, and you get like 313 on the timer, you'll get a 1-up. So, they're pretty cool. Also, clouds have smiley faces. So typically, what you'll want to do is just make sure, if you do the power up right, you'll get around a 352. So definitely don't have a 2 at the end, but you can always slow down, it's fine. But people will hop on this Koopa. You don't want to jump too late, or else you're going to run to the bottom of his body. So don't do that. Jump as soon as you can once you land on that, and you'll go flying. And that's one of the ways you can use the advantage of jumping higher off of enemies. So hop on here, jump over this blooper, run off the second elevator here, and just kind of, you can do that, but just jump from that. I don't know what they call those trees or what. I'll call them trees for now, but they're probably not called that. Jump from, you're gonna wanna, some people will actually like do some cool thing where they grab the power up in mid-air, and while the animation of Mario growing is occurring, people will press A again, and it'll cause Mario to do a jump again. Not a bad strat. What I do is a little bit harder and faster. What I do is I do kind of like that, or I jump to the top of the block. I think it saves maybe like a frame roll at the most, which I'm terrible at explaining frame rolls, so I'm not going to bother explaining them. But yeah, but definitely this is much easier to do, so it doesn't lose much time either, so definitely you can do that. So we're on our way, you know, move like that, and we are on to 1-4, the final level in World 1. Alright, so 1-4, so this is the next power-up we're going to get, and the world record, and I basically do like kind of the same power-ups that the record does, except for this one. The record kind of does like a mix between like what I do and what some people do in 1-3, where they'll like clip into the block and then do a double jump, and it saves time, but I don't do that. What I personally do, which I don't recommend if you're trying to get under like 22 to 23 minutes and aren't too experienced, is I'll do a clip grab, where you'll clip inside of the block. It's kind of technical to explain, but if you clip inside the block, you can get this, and it usually won't save any time. What most people do is they grab this power up and build Mario's momentum by running off these two bits of ground, I guess. I don't know what these are called, but you do that, you'll go over here, you'll run up to this wall, go back to the right, and you'll build up enough momentum to go to the top of the power-up block. And there you go. So, the reason why we grab the fire flower, you could do it for safety, like I said, but the main reason why is because we like to fire kill Bowser, because it saves a little bit of time in each castle. But I'll explain more to when we get there. I shouldn't have even mentioned that now, but so you're gonna duck under these two fire bars, and these. Bowser's flame can be like in like the middle here instead of like in the ground. You'll kind of have to take like be more cautious of that. Definitely like try to like play it like a little slow here. So, You can jump like there. That's fine. I jump from this fire bar. That's fine. So there are these pillars, and Bowser's also shooting a flame, or more than one flame typically. So you're gonna want to pay attention to those as well when you're doing this, because you can like kind of like jump like right into a flame and lose your fire flower, and that's not good, especially since you first grabbed that fire flower earlier in the level. So you're gonna want to hop here, and this is where it saves time. So typically, when you grab the axe, you see that bridge falling. But when you fire kill him, that animation is not there. So that's why we grab the fire flower, primarily. It's because we do that. But Lost Levels, enemy placement's kind of weird, so honestly, we'd probably get the fire flower anyway, since small only traps would be weird. Yeah, we are done with World 1. We are one way to the way there. So 2-1, you have your fire flower. Now, if you didn't make it out of 1-4 with fire, there is a power-up right here. It would turn into a mushroom and it would fall, so I'll actually... This practice ROM does enable you to go back to small, mid-level, and go back to fire, whatever, so kind of like do this. And you can grab the power-up like that. Now I'll go up top here like this. It makes this a little easier because when you're going below here, you might hit a Koopa, but when you jump in between those first two Koopas, you run up on these blocks and it makes it a lot easier. So you can grab the star here if you're not Fire Mario, or if you just prefer the extra safety. So just to get those plants out of the way. Now if you did end up if you didn't have Fire Flower because you got hit in 1-4, but still have your power from the beginning of the level, there's a power-up right here, and you'll go back to Fire Mario. Now, if you don't want to get the star, you can kind of like snipe these plants out of the way like that. Now, if you don't know how to snipe, it's basically, you have to hold A, so when you're jumping, you hold A, and then press B while you're holding A, and that's how you snipe. It's much easier than just like running up to the plant and kind of like shooting him. It's much easier to kill the plants that way. So jump, press A, and you'll snipe the plant. The hitboxes are weird. And go on your merry way. So you can like do a full jump here. You can also run on this elevator. Really no time loss. You know, you can do that, or you do something like this. I've seen people like glitch into like the blocks like that. Like you can kind of like do that, or you can like go up top. Not really a big deal. You can grab the spring. Springs can despawn this game. And you can just kind of like go wee. But so this if you miss these Koopas, you'll probably die, because if you miss the Koopas but you think you hit them, you might land on them and fall in the blue lava down there. So yeah, definitely be a little cautious about sniping these guys, or just try not to snipe them at all. But yeah, you could do something like that. That works. There's a 1-up right here in case you do end up gaming over or don't want to game over. You can end up getting that extra life there. So extra life. The Koopas at the end here are kind of weird. Sometimes Koopas can kind of, like that second Koopa here, not this first one, but this second one can kind of spawn low. I don't know if the first one does that a lot. I don't think it does, but if needed, you can just shoot a fireball. But if they do spawn really high, you can just run under him. But you can just kind of like jump over them if you want to. Kind of play it a little slow. So what you can do here is you can kind of like do kind of like that. The stairs are kind of weird and uncomfortable because of the Goombas. So, I hop on that third Goomba from the second, stair. You can do a bunch of things, but most people, like, hop from the bottom of the stairs on that third Goomba. The optimal time is 3:38, I think, for 2-1. Now we're on to the second level in World 2, the 6th level of the game, 2-2. Now if you hold right and B, which typically you would, you'll buff for a fireball shot, and that'll kill that Paracoopa right there. So that's one of the unique things about buffering a fireball. What you want to do is I'm trying to make a save state, but I keep missing my button. Sorry. There we go. Yeah, sometimes like your fireballs can go through the plants. Lag, of course, too many sprites on the screen. You know, kill those 2 enemies out of the way. You know, snipe that plant. There's no power-ups here, so if you were to do the small only, you'd have to be a little cautious. I can go over small only with this level as well. So you can jump over those 2 if you want. Snipe this plant and jump over on this little set of blocks right there. So you can kind of jump over this Koopa Troopa, Paracoopa right there. You can jump or snipe that Koopa. Doesn't matter. Jump over those 3 if you want. You can also kill all 3 of those. Sometimes you can get hit though. I'm not gonna go down there. I forgot that takes you to a different destination. So there's a power up right here if you did end up if you were small. However, if you were small, that was really weird what that plant just did. Why is it going really fast? I have no idea. Not supposed to do that though. Let's just snipe you. Weird thing with the practice run, that can happen sometimes. It won't in the vanilla game though. So yeah, you can grab this power up right here. This part is kind of tricky. Some people just like do wall jump attempts. Definitely don't do that if you're. Some people, this is the optimal thing to do. Or not that. It's on those lines though. I'll see if I can replicate it again. Something like that. It's kind of tricky though, since you have to land in a spot that puts you in the first pixel of that block, so it can push you back, because that's how this game works. You can do a safety strat where you can do this. However, if you were small only, I made a save state, but you wouldn't be able to snipe that enemy. But I'm gonna restart the level so I can do try to show some small strats. See if I can restart the level once more. Alright, so yeah, you can just hop over there. This part's a little trickier. You can just land in between that Goomba and this plant. Kind of just jump along from here. So, do something like this. That works. Hop over those 2 Koopas like that. You can wait here, and you can make it over without running speed. This is a star. You can collect this if you want. Just makes this part a little easier, so you can just run right through. It also makes this power grab a lot easier because you don't have to plan the Koopa there. But if you didn't if you did not have fire here, you need to be a little more careful about the plant and the Koopa Troopa. You can kind of like kick that dude to the side, wait for this plant to spawn. I would have gotten hit there. But you know, just make sure you don't get hit by the plant. No. And just kind of like, that Koopa's weird. He can spawn at many different heights. But that's just one of those things where I recommend just be careful about. So that's 2-3. I'm gonna go to, or 2-2. So we're gonna move on to 2-3. Now, almost done with World 2. Don't do that. Lots of Koopas. Just jump over them. You can like try to shoot that dude, but try to jump over him as much as you can. If you're small, there's a power up right here you can collect. But if you're big fire Mario, or if you're just big only from the power up in 2-2, you can also do that. So you can like jump up here. These cheap cheeps can be in your way a lot. I've gotten some pretty terrifying patterns in my speedrun attempts of this category. So you can like snipe that Koopa or jump over him. That's fine. What I try to do is I try to snipe that blooper and the Koopa Troopa. I'll see if I can make up a strat on the go right now for that area. You can kind of just like do kind of like that, but hope to God that my cart doesn't glitch out and do like some weird thing with that blooper. That just happened the first time. But the second time I didn't do that, so you kind of do that. But he can like move in your way. You can also kind of like just jump over him like that. But I just shoot him. But if you miss him, of course, you could pay a good toll. So I go to snipe this Koopa. If you don't feel comfortable enough to do that, you can kind of just like play a little slow there. That's fine. Of course, fish patterns can affect your movement throughout this level, as you'll have to move out of the way to avoid getting hit. So make it through. Optimal time is 3:53, so make sure your coin count is not ending in a 3. And that's all for 2-3. Now, if you were big only, of course you wouldn't be able to handle that blooper differently, so just jump over him. And just do something like this, I guess. But once again, fish patterns can cause you to do different things, so you can't grab the top of the flag unless you're Luigi, and this isn't a Luigi tutorial, so don't intend to get 5,000 on the flag. And we were into 2-4. So you can you want to backward jump, because like I said in 1-2, how Mario moves faster, you know, blah blah blah. So you don't want to clip into this wall. You can though. I almost did actually. You can just do that. I mean, that's fine. But yeah, you can do a bunch of wall clips in the castle levels. If you don't just snipe, you can if you don't want to do that, you can kind of just like do that. But I definitely recommend sniping those guys. Now, sometimes this fireball will despawn. Or firebar, sorry. I don't know exactly like how to do it, but I think it's something like if you snipe these guys, or no, maybe it's you snipe these 3, I think. Hop on those 2 and then snipe those 3, and that might despawn the firebar. Now, if you were big only, you want to hop on that Koopa, and if you don't clip into the wall, and that's the thing, like if you clip into this wall, you just avoid that. Slow down here a little bit, because you'll run into the Koopa Troopas otherwise. I don't think there's a power-up in this area, but I think there is an invisible block that might be poisonous mushroom. I did not mean to scroll the screen like this. So, if you're a big Mario though, then just jump over. There is a power-up right here, however, if you are big Mario, but not small Mario or Fire Mario, or sorry, yeah, you'll have to do a clip grab here. So if you're big only, you have to do a clip grab here, and it's honestly not worth it, because this clip grab's kind of weird, and it's just a waste of time, essentially, so you're better off getting some power-ups in 3-1, which I definitely will go over. So, however, if you're only small, since mushrooms kind of like move around, you can kind of like wait for it to fall off the block. But if you're Fire Mario, you don't have to worry about that. I also should consider going over small Fire Mario strats, but they're kind of like a mishmash between small and big, so you can kind of... It's basically the same as Fire Mario, so honestly not a big deal. So these fire bars are kind of weird. I just wait them out, honestly. They're usually like, there's usually not more than like 2 that can like cause you to get hit if you have like a certain pattern, so you can also do the bottom route, but I don't recommend that. Sometimes if you go to duck, but you do the duck input over these 1-tile gaps, you can get hit by the fire bars. Most people just go to the top. You can duck under that guy. Usually you'll make it by every time. So, you know, jump under that Potaboo and onto these blocks, and then you can kind of like run off. Or just duck jump off like what I typically do. You can also challenge these Podoboo by going under them. I think you can go over the second Podoboo in some patterns, but sometimes the Podoboos are too low and you'll get hit. But if you want to play it safe, you can just wait him out. And of course, if he's forward, you can just run under him, just blast his ugly body with fireballs. But if he's backwards, which you can kind of like brush up on this elevator, kinda, then like spam him with fireballs. But always take note of his patterns, because he can do many things. And that's it for World 2. Just gonna make a save state just in case my power pack, or sorry, EverDrive crashes, and World 2 is completed. Alright, so 3-1, Hammer Bros, no one likes them. There's a star right here, you can obviously collect this, but it wouldn't serve you much use. If you were a Star Man though, you can like do a big jump over there, but what you want to do is, if the Hammer Bros on the bottom, just snipe him if you have Fire Flower. I will go over non-fire strats soon. But if there is a power-up right here. I hop on this Koopa, and I'd recommend jumping on these bricks, because you can like fall through them like that. So, because those are invisible blocks actually, so that's why you fall through them. So you can grab this power-up if you're small only. Jump like that. You can kind of like snipe this Koopa like that. I do the middle Koopa though. And here's another power-up. So if you were like small only, just wait the Hammer Bros out if you can. See, power-up right there. There's also another power-up. Make sure to watch for this bullet bill, because he can shoot. And of course, power-up right there. That's fine. If you're Fire Mario, of course, you don't have to worry about those power-up grabs. But if you're small Mario entering 3-1, you can recover all the way back up to Fire Mario by the end of the level. So, this is 351. That's optimal. Sometimes you might get 350. Try to avoid having a 0 or a 1 in the 1 stage of your coin count. So, hop on this guy. You can do this. Sometimes in the All-Stars version, there's a Koopa and a plant that's normally here. Usually only one or the other will spawn, not both of them. If both of them do spawn, you'll kind of have to try to land on the edge of this pipe, and you'll hop off the Koopa. Take another part where you take advantage of the physics of hopping off of enemies. But typically, I'll just try to snipe both of them if you see both of them. So, yeah, you can, I don't know how to, avoid that. You can do that. I think this Koopa can spawn at different heights. You can just, snipe him. Don't take the spring, because you'll, go into outer space and back down. And you don't know where you're gonna land exactly, so. And, of course, that's the one that takes you to World 1. The warp zone that takes you to World 1. So, get to the stairs. I don't know if there's invisible blocks here. I don't think there are. So, yeah, and there you go. 3-1 complete. 3-2 is our first water level. And water levels are mean in this game. Every top level player, or basically anyone who's played this category, can definitely agree that water levels can be mean sometimes. So, here we go. So, I stay at the top here. Sometimes an enemy can spawn there like that, so don't duck swim. And if you don't know how to duck swim, I'm gonna get this blue bar out of the way first. If you're ducking and start swimming while you're holding duck, Mario's basically the top of Mario's hitbox is non-existent, and you can actually partially go through enemies. The only disadvantage is you can't shoot fireballs. Swimming is kind of like, it's like jumping with this because, like, you can't shoot fireballs while duck jumping, and you can't shoot fireballs while duck swimming. And the hitbox is much smaller, too. But, Aerodrive crash number 1. Fortunately, I had made a save state, but if you're duck swimming, sorry, you won't be able to snipe this cheap cheap out of the way, and sometimes you can get pulled down into the area of the enemy and like get hit, and you don't want to get hit at all. But typically once I get out of this area, I'll duck swim. I didn't mean it. I should have shot that guy, but whatever. Of course, depending on what enemies you shoot, the pattern will change. Um, so if you're duck swimming, beware that you can get hit by this Koopa Troopa here. So just be careful of that. I'm gonna have to make another save state. I think we're done with this area. So that's gonna be a problem. Like if you're duck swimming, you won't be able to kill that cheap cheap like I mentioned earlier, where you can't shoot fireballs. So definitely gonna have to work around that. So you know, you can duck swim, you know, navigate around the enemies. I can't pull up every enemy pattern possible. You can like kind of like glitch through like the ceiling up here somehow. I can't demonstrate it. He's not willing to go up there, but you can actually go through or above the coral. Kind of a weird thing, but you can also get hit by bloopers that way, so I wouldn't entirely recommend that. I'll try doing it once more. So if you aren't duck swimming, you can kind of like kill enemies. I mean, whatever works for you. If you prefer duck swimming, that's fine. But just remember that you'll always get pushed down because your head will be able to go through the objects partially when you're duck swimming, so that makes it a little easier to navigate. So now we're in this area. Another place where you can go through the coral, just like that. That blooper can kind of be in the way though and take your fire from you. But if you don't do that, which you probably won't want to go for in the long run, just let the current pull you down there. Cheap cheeps. This is one of those things where water levels are nasty. You know, you can go bottom, but I don't recommend that. Depending on where that blooper is, you can go to the top, but cheap cheeps can be there. Oh, I almost made it. Alright, so you can go bottom here, like I said, but I do recommend going top. Alright, so you go top here. That blooper can be in the way, and of course if you're duck swimming, you can't shoot that blooper out of the way. But if you can, good for you, you can do that. And that's the end of the level. Now, if he is up there, you can go down the bottom here. Alright, can we do a flagpole glitch? We'll see. Nope. Alright. But that is it for 3-2. And now for 3-3. If you were small, it would be much easier to navigate around those enemies. So 3-3 is a snowy level. You can kind of just like shoot those guys out of the way. I take the top route here. You know, you can kind of just like hop off those enemies. You know, kind of like be slow there with that Koopa. So this is a tight jump to make. You can definitely like jump a little early and like fall. If you don't want to have to risk dying, you can just wait just a slight amount of time there. I don't think you can like jump up there yet. No, you can't. Wait a little bit there. Definitely take the top route here. If you are small entering 3-3, there is a power-up. It's invisible. There is a power-up right there. You can collect. So if you are small, just collect that power-up. Truth be told, though, there's actually an invisible troll block up in the later half of this level. So, you know, navigate around this Koopa, do whatever. You don't have to snipe that plant, obviously. You can land on the pipe if you snipe him. But you can just jump from elevator to elevator. And there's an invisible block right there. Oh, there's two. I thought there was only one. There's two. Alright, so that's something I learned today. So definitely don't jump in the middle of these this tree, I guess. Always jump on either this end or this end and make it through. You can do that, but if you want to land on the top of the flag, which can save a frame roll, I mean, I don't know about this level, but it might. Hop on this Koopa and be on your merry way. Alright, almost done with World 3. And so this, so we're almost done with World 3. 3-4 is the first of, I think, if you'd consider 8-4 a maze level, which I'd assume so. First of 3 maze castles in this game. So, you can just run off here like that. You don't need to do some fancy thing on the stairs or anything, just run off. You'll land on that, bit of ground there. You can kind of, like, brush up against that pipe and, like, shoot that plant. Here's, actually, no, wait, never mind. I thought, this is, in some levels, you might see this later on. Sometimes, if you're close to a wall, you might brush into it. But if you duck, it's kind of like duck swimming and duck jumping, where you're in mid-air, but the hitbox isn't fully Mario. So you can kind of like glitch like through the you kind of like glitch through the thing, the blocks there. So you can duck jump over this plant too, if you want, or you can just like snipe him. But usually, like, it's kind of hard to not bonk on something. I mean, you can duck jump over him though. So this is like the maze area, or I mean this is a maze area too. But here's an interesting way to play the level. If you're big fire or just big, you can you wanna duck under these 2 bits of ground like that. And when this Potaboo's here, you wanna like jump and land in the middle on the second floor, quote unquote, I guess. And it won't reset the maze. If you jump too early though, like that, it won't reset the maze. It should though. If you jump early, it would though. So I recommend just duck under these two. Once the Potaboo comes out, jump. There is a power up right here. If you're big only, it's kind of hard to get. But what I recommend doing is, if you're big only, kind of like duck jump, like wait over here and then like run, like walk and duck jump, kinda. But if you're Fire Mario, you don't have to worry about that, obviously. If the plants there snipe it, what the world record does is kind of interesting. The world record holder, he snipes these 2 plants and kind of like jumps in here. It doesn't reset the maze and it is a little faster, but definitely much riskier and you can definitely die. So what I recommend doing is jumping from this plant up here. And invisible block. I'm pretty sure you can like kind of just like duck jump, kinda. But yeah, I don't want. I don't recommend that. Just reveal this block and jump up. This firebar, sorry, can spawn in many different ways. Sometimes he can be like the firebar can be like the tip can be like here. So if that happens, you'll just want to like duck jump like down the stairs. But if he's like in the position that he is right now, you can just duck jump like that and wait on that firebar. So you'll want to shoot some opening shots here. These make the Bowser fight a lot easier. I don't have a video cue, I just kind of like shoot him as early as I can. And be on your way. This powerup can be so low that he can hit you. So honestly, kind of like wait him out if you can. So yep, World 3 is finished. Now we're heading into World 4. So we're almost halfway done with the game level-wise and world-wise. Or well, not technically, there's still worlds 9 through D. But in this specific category, almost halfway done. So you can just kind of like just jump in between that spiny and that red plant. Red plants do move faster. You can hop on that Lakitu or you don't have to. That's fine. You know, obviously you can jump over that plant. If you're small, there's a power-up right here you can collect. And here's a spring. And so this enemy placement's a little weird. So you can't, obviously you can kind of like do like a tricky snipe, but the timing's kind of tricky. So I recommend like slowing down a little bit. Some people like do kind of like that, which is perfectly fine. I like jump up at the stairs and then press left to hold back. And then kill the spiny. So there is another power-up right here, but Lakitu can hit you with his spinies. Because he's Lakitu. Also, if you're big only, you will have to, actually, you might actually be able to, build momentum. Like this. Like that. But if you're small, you can kind of just, like, do like that. But you want to go below these blocks if you can. And kind of like, if there's red plants, just clear them out. If you're Fire Mario, if you're big only, that's a different story. Just kind of wait on each pipe, I guess I could say. You can like make it under that spiny if you're fast. So, and you're done. You can't grab the top of the flag. I think maybe you can, but you'd have to reveal some coin blocks. Yeah, no, you can't. All right. So you don't expect to grab the top there. Alright, moving on to 4-2, not an underground level. There is a power-up right here, but it's kind of like D3, where these bills can hit you while you're trying to acquire it. So I wouldn't entirely recommend going for it. There's also a star right here you can collect. Which honestly, the levels, like, if you're going fast, like, the level's kind of like easy to go without the star. There's not a lot of enemies in this area. And what you can do is just jump. You can jump over that guy. My save or load state is selected B, so I'll always shoot a fireball when I'm loading a save state. And so and jump whenever I'm making one most of the time. So yeah, you can jump over those Koopas. If you're really desperate, there is a power up. Come on, plant, be nice. Right here. If you're big only, I don't recommend going for this. Cause you can what you can do is kind of like get pushed out, and sometimes if you're far enough in, you can kind of like get pushed into the middle there. So don't recommend getting this power up. There's so many things that can go wrong. So hammer row here. Don't take the bottom route. This is really weird. So don't take the bottom route. You can kind of like shoot a fireball. Like that. But kill that hammer bro if you can. Sometimes he'll jump below to the red plants. That's fine. Sometimes you like do a couple tight A presses like that. Sometimes you might press the A button too early and you might die. You can also kind of like jump like that, but you can also like short it. So you can also just kind of like take it slow. Kill that Koopa if you can. If you're not fire. Sometimes you might get hit by him. If you're small, then good luck. You can kind of just like wait like that. One a pipe. I think that's the thing with the practice ROM. Whenever you land with 0 on the 3rd digit of your time, you'll always get a 1-up. Despite this practice ROM giving you unlimited lives. Alright, so now we're Fire Mario, I mean I chose Fire Mario. I meant to make a save state. Well, we're sitting through the end of 4-2 again. Sorry. Yeah, 4-3. This is a level. There's a few levels in the game where bullet bills can really screw you over and kill you. Right there, we made a save state this time. You can like kind of slow down or not slow. Sorry, not slow down, but you might jump over the spring like that. Slowing down is perfectly fine. You won't save a frame roll. In this level unless you do a fast excel. I think it has to be like a perfect fast excel. But you won't need to do any of those in this game to get a top tier time. You can like land on that second elevator. You can also land on the first one, but you can just kind of like jump to the second one, which is fine. You can do like that, or I do this, which is fine. You make a long jump here. If you're small only, I think you can. Yeah, you can still make it. Some jumps in this game you'll want to slow down with, for small only, but so you can do that, but no, don't do that. Power up there. This block is a power up. It's slow though. I don't recommend going for it. And this is the area where bullet bills can be right in your way. A bullet bill can literally spawn like in this area, and no matter what, you'll have to take damage, or else you'll die. So what I recommend is kind of like wait, like scroll the screen far enough, or you can like jump and then like go back, like that, and then bring this elevator up so you don't have to make that huge jump right there. But if you're feeling risky, kill that Koopa, hope a bullet bill doesn't spawn, and you can make that tight jump. I don't know how tight the window is to make that. 351 is optimal, but it's kind of hard to get. But 351 does not save time over 350, like I said, unless you do fast excel. 4-4, you can just like run off there like that. Sometimes, like you can jump. If you press A too early though, you can kind of like. Oh no, you can still make it. Never mind. Sorry. So you can jump over that Koopa or snipe him like I do. You can also like try to like kill those Goombas. I recommend hopping on them though. Makes it a lot easier. You can do that. I've seen that happen sometimes, but I recommend slowing down and kind of like jumping over him. Here's the climb. Hey Avril. Kill those Koopas. There are 2 power-ups in this game. Actually, I'm gonna go back to the beginning of the level, because there is a power-up at the beginning of the level. Right here, there's a power-up. But you'll want to like kind of like run up against this wall and kind of like jump backwards into the firebar block. You definitely don't want to get hit there. If you do mess it up somehow, like you don't go like all the way back, you'll have to wait for these Koopas to come down here, and you have to clear them out. Now this is much harder to do as small or big. So if you're small, just hop on the Koopas just like that. If you're big fire, you can snipe them. Clip there. I didn't get though. Hammer bro. Sometimes if you kill a hammer bro in a specific time, he can throw a hammer backwards, and if you're doing this top route, you'll run to the hammer and take damage. I see some people take the bottom route. That's fine. If you jump too high, you can like sometimes you might end up jumping into the fire bar like that. So you want to do a light A press there. Don't take the middle route. It's slower and it's harder. You can hop on those guys and do that and kind of yay. Or I'd take the top route. I snipe that plant and duck jump like that. Now, if you end up going to like the bottom, there is a power up. Now, if you are small, you'll have to like wait it out. Why did I just load my save state? But there is a power up. Directly above this block, there is a power up. See if I can get to it. There we go. Alright, yes, there is a power up right here. That took a while, sorry. But you'll have to kind of like wait it out, and you will have to do a double jump. That wasn't a good example, but sometimes your sub-pixels can be kind of funny, and you can actually like fall down here for no reason except for sub-pixels. So that can happen, so always be prepared for that. You can also clip into the wall, like that. We'll take use of that in one of the later levels in the game. So, but you can always just do a duck jump there just to avoid any other results. This pipe, you just kind of like land in it. If there is a plant here, you will take damage. I hop from that first pillar to the elevator, like this, and onto here. Bowser's flame can be in the way. If the flame is in the way, just kind of like jump on like the left side of the pillar, or the block, sorry. If I duck jump, just in case his flame's in a spot where I have to be ducking or else I get hit. And then kind of like duck jump on the right side. Potaboo, he can be low sometimes. You can be on your merry way, or you can do kind of like that, but I don't think you'd want to do that. You can wait this Potaboo out as well. And that is World 4. Alright, so we're about an hour into this tutorial, and we only have 4 worlds left. So the loads take place in between 4, 4, and 5, like I mentioned earlier, so... but now on to World 5. You can take this bottom route like that. I don't advise that, though. I say jump on those question mark blocks, and do like a jump and land in between this pipe and the Buzzy Beetle. You can like kind of like do full jumps into those pipes, or you can kind of like do like light taps there. You can run under this Koopa like that. There's a despawn strat that Takate and Goofy do. But I don't know exactly how to do that. You could jump over this guy, but you can't jump over this guy. If you're small, there are no power-ups that I know of in this level. I think there is an underground coin cache where you can get a power-up. That's obviously really slow, and there are some power-ups in 5-2 that I will go over. So if you're small, what I do is I'll just do a pipe jump, kind of easy. I don't know if you can entirely do it like that, or if you'll get hit by the plant. But kind of just like, you can do that, that's fine. The wind takes place in this level. It debuts here. I think there are if you do fall down here, there are invisible coin blocks that allow you to get back up to the top. But hopefully you won't be in that situation. Jump, jump, jump one last time, and you're through. You can jump down here, but I don't think it's any more than a 2-frame window to make the A press to jump. It's very hard. Be careful of that bullet bill. You can hesitate here just to add one last thing to that area. Another thing you can do, if you're small, or if you're any Mario, you can just jump over them like that, or you can snipe them. You will have to do it or you won't be able to snipe him like that. You'll have to like go up to him and snipe him, or kill him, sorry. Like that. But like I said, you can also just do that, that's fine too. You can, I recommend if you go under him, just kind of duck there in case the Koopa is a little weird. You can jump over him too, that's fine. So yeah, just kind of make your way to the end. We're almost at the end of 5-1. You can jump from like here to there, to this first stair. Or maybe you can't. I think you can though. You can, but just hop on the single block and like jump to the stairs. Land on that second step, and here's what we call the super jump. So, taking place of Mario being, or taking the advantage of Mario being able to hop off of enemies much higher. What I do is at the peak of Mario's bounce, I shoot a fireball and walk up to this Koopa and hop off of him, and you can make it to the top here. The intended way to do this area is to reveal some blocks and make your way up. Some people can do a faster method. Kind of like jump in between those Koopas and like hop off, but I recommend if you're Fire Mario, just kind of the peak of his bounce, shoot, walk up to him and bounce. If you're not that though, I really don't have a setup for it unless I'm Fire Mario. If you're small, I mean you can kind of do what I was doing before. You land in between the Koopas and like do the super jump. But if you don't feel comfortable enough, you can kind of just like snipe them out of the way and just kind of like make your way up. It is faster than failing the super jump and having to do that, so. So that covers it for 5-1. Sometimes the Koopas can spawn in weird places like you guys saw earlier. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend going for super jump if it's an awkward pattern. But yeah, we're done with 5-1. And one thing I want to note is this can happen in 5-2 as well. You can miss this plant right here and get hit. So what I recommend doing is kind of like, if you don't feel comfortable with that, just kind of like jump down. You'll lose like a frame roll at the most. So optimal is 305. I got 304 because I walked to the Koopa. Well, like I said before, you can kind of like run up to him in between the Koopas. 5-2 is the last underground stage in Worlds 1 through 8. If you're small, there's a power-up right here, right at the beginning of the level, that you can collect. You can snipe that Koopa and just duck slide right under this red plant. If you don't like that, you can kind of like wait the plant out and kind of like shoot them. Sometimes your plants can, or the fireballs can go like under the plants somehow. But usually, hopefully that won't happen, but you can duck slide. If you are Big Mario only, just kind of like, you can kind of like duck jump. Like, kind of like duck jump over them. You can, this is one of the things where like you can kind of like, you'll brush up on like that, but if you duck, you won't. Here's another power-up. I feel like there's something here. But I'm not entirely sure. So, don't go down here. That's just lame. You can jump up here, go the top route if you have fire. This is another part, like I mentioned earlier, where if you shoot too late, you'll miss a plant. So, you can always like wait him out. That's fine. You can shoot that Koopa. Of course, if you're not fire, just jump over him. Jump over him. If you're slow, this plant can spawn, and you don't want that, because that makes this area easier to go by fast. So, duck jump over here. No devil spell. That plant will always be in the pipe when you come by here. So, if you're not fire, I advise waiting this dude out. Of course, you might get hit there. I think if you're small, you won't get hit by him. Let me double check here. Okay, you will. Alright, don't do that. If you're fire, of course, you can snipe that dude. That plant will go away and go onto the pipe. I don't know why I just did that, but if you are big, wait him out. You have to wait both of these plants out. Why am I shorting it? Alright, kind of like wait on the left side there, because I feel like I like the edge of like that first pillar there. You'll like not build up momentum and you'll fall in the pit. So yeah, just left side here if you're not fire. If you are fire, like I said, you can kind of just like go. Another flagpole glitch. Rip. That was better than last time though. Optimal is a little faster than that. I think it's like 346 or something, I don't know. But 5-3 is the next stage. You can like jump off this elevator and like land there or in the pit. You can also land there, but honestly, I'd just wait if you weren't Fire Mario. But if you are Fire Mario, you can kill that plant there. Some people do some weird thing where like they'll like jump at like the very edge and like hit that Koopa. It does save time, but only maybe like a frame roll. So I'd recommend jumping on the second Koopa and you'll bounce up to here and land the pipe. Yes, red plants do spawn even when you're next to the pipe, so definitely be aware of that. Run under here, you know, easy. Some people do like a fast excel. See if I can demonstrate one. Like that, kind of, but you jump. I recommend like walking to the left side here and kind of just like building up your momentum and like run and jump and kill that dude. This is another level where the bills can take away your fire. And my EverDrive is crashing again. Let's go. Kill that dude. Obviously, if you're not Fire Mario, I recommend waiting. Like that. You can wait these bills out if you want. I haven't found an entirely consistent strat. Like this enemy placement's so weird that honestly, it's probably just your best bet to just like kind of like risk everything. Cause like that blooper can be like really weird. So, or maybe you can do that, but honestly, I think just risking it would probably be the best bet because, and that blooper can be really awkward. There is a blooper, or not a blooper, a bullet bill that can spawn right in the middle here, and you can bounce off of him and land in the, and fall down below. So that's the only punishment. But hop on that Koopa, jump from elevator, jump off that second elevator. No, do that. You can also do this kind of. Honestly, that's not much slower. I don't even know if it is slower at all, but you can do the ending however you want. 351, I think you can get in this level. And now on to 5-4. This level is kind of difficult to do. There's a lot of fireballs and potaboos and tight areas, so there are no power-ups in this level, or 5-3, sorry. There are no power-ups in 5-3 that I can recall, so kind of on your own on that level. So what you can do, hold right and B. You can run off these two. You can also run off this guy, but you might get hit by that potaboo. So what I would recommend doing is kind of run off. You'll land on here and kind of like wait the potaboos out. Now sometimes like you can not build momentum and die. So definitely always start from like the very left side and kind of like build up your momentum. There is a power up right here, but sometimes you can grab it. See if I can demonstrate. Sometimes you can like miss it and like hit the fire bar. Sometimes you can clip grab it. If you clip grab it, you might fall down below and get hit. Overall, it's not worth going for. You might people in All-Stars will go under here because the Potoboos go really high, but I recommend going over. There are Potoboos that can actually be so high that you will get hit here like that. But jump up here. I recommend just sitting here and waiting for the Potoboo to go down. You know, you can duck jump like that. Honestly, you can do kind of like that. Just hope the Potoboo doesn't come around. But yeah, people will do that, and that's just crazy. But you can also like do like, you can build momentum on this fire bar block. But that's kind of risky, so definitely like sit on here and do that. That's probably like the easiest way to get by there fast. So here, you know, duck under him. You know, you can like wait these guys. You wait on these guys to go down, and this is not a maze level, so you can like jump however you want. And the reason why you don't want to jump in maze castles, I'll explain in 6.4 actually, because that's another maze level. So, just up here, duck jump. That's a tight area. You can make it, but I wouldn't recommend that. You can wait on that guy. Sometimes this fire bar can be in a position that is impossible to avoid getting hit. Like sometimes the fire balls in the bar can be like right here, and you can get hit. So I'd recommend just jumping. You know, do that kinda. And go top here. The bottom route's just pretty stupid. I would not recommend going for that. So, opening shots in that area. Do a little bit before I, you know, kind of like there, but he's kind of mean. Kind of like in that area. And sometimes this Potoboo can be really low. So, beware of that. And you're through. Now, I haven't talked about small strats in a while, so we're just gonna do 5.4 small only. Or big only. So, you know, basically the same thing actually, but if you're, basically everything's actually the same. I don't even know why I did this, but, if you're a big Mario, you can kind of get that power up, but you can also lose it. That's really like the big thing. But everything else is basically the same. Just want to show you that. So, alright, 6-1. We're gonna mark World 5 done. And we're on to World 6. There is a power up right here. Might want to knock that Buzzy Beetle out. There's also a star. You can like jump off of like here. Star's right here. And there's a really weird thing that happens with invisible coin blocks. And it works much like it does in 3.1, where you can like, since there's an invisible block like right here, in this version, if you jump in this area, you can actually like walk through the pipe. Very weird. But you know, if you do miss it, which like kind of like that, like if you miss it, always like to reveal it, shoot that plant. If you aren't big only, you know, just kind of burst fire, you can jump through the hammers there and kind of just like wait on the plant. So yeah, you can always just do that. Sometimes the Bulbo can shoot when you land and like take away your fire. Hopefully it won't though. I recommend just hopping off that can to get to those stairs. If the bro's down here, kind of try to just jump. You can also just kind of like do that if the bro is down below. There is a power up right here, but if you're Fire Mario or if you're Big Mario, basically impossible to get. So really only worth as Small Mario. You can shoot that guy. I think you actually can make it by without getting hit, without shooting him. I think so, but you can always shoot him for safety. Another wind area. Hop on the elevator, and that second elevator. You can kill the plant. Sometimes your fireball will go through him, so be aware. You can always, you don't have to kill these plants. You can always like jump before the plants, and like do kind of like that. This part's kind of tricky to do without fire, so we are gonna go to Big Mario only for this part. Okay, you can kind of do something like that. You can also wait on the plants. On All Stars, that third plant on the right side can despawn. So if you're Fire Mario though, you can kind of just like do something like that. And 6-1 is complete. Alright, World 6-2, the second and last underwater stage for this category. Duck swimming makes this level so much easier. Kind of swim under those enemies. If that cheap's there, you can go to the bottom, but always take the top if there's not an enemy there. Navigate around them like that. I always duck swim in this level. It's always duck swim in this level. It's always much easier. I go to the top here. If there are enemies up there, you can go to the bottom or the middle, but definitely take the top if there's no obstacles there. This is the main part of where duck swimming is easy. The corals here, much easier to get around. If you're not duck swimming, much harder. So always be duck swimming in this area. Don't go down below. The current can always pull you down, and same with the elevator. And you can go up top here. This is what most people do. There can be bad fish patterns in here. The world record does lose a bunch of time in this level because of bad bloopers at the end of the level. But always take the bottom route here. And you're done. That was terrible. Would I recommend going for Flagpole Glitch? It doesn't, really, you don't need to go for it. I'm just doing it for swag purposes. Swimming is a lot easier as Small Mario in that level. Okay. That was interesting. If you're big only, just jump from here to here. If you're any Mario. That Koopa can spawn in different heights, I'm pretty sure. You can, like, jump over him. Jump over. And these, FYI, are strats if you don't have fire. I'm just too lazy to switch over to Big Mario. But if you can't shoot fireballs, you can duck. You can hit that Koopa there. And if you're big only, just forget trying to get this power up, because it's like really like not probably possible unless you have like a weird cheap pattern. But if you're Fire Mario, just kind of. If you're Fire Mario, you can just kill all these enemies. But if you're small, you can like wait. Like that. There's 2 power-ups in this level, so you can get back to Fire Mario. But fish patterns always are in the way, though, so you can definitely get hit there. But you can always hop off like that if you're big fire. You don't need to worry about getting these power-ups. No. If you aren't fire, though, up in this area, try to just avoid the enemies. If you wait too long, that Koopa can be too low to get to the tree. Here, so yeah, if you wait like too long like that, you won't make it up there. So, I think you can make it, maybe not, but you can always not need the Koopa. You can get just for fun anyway. And we're almost done with World 6. Six 4 is a long maze level. You're gonna wanna jump off the step and jump off of there. Some people do some weird thing where they like do that. And I think it like registers that he did the maze correctly and it does save time, but honestly it's not worth going for. So duck under that dude, hop up here, don't kill that bro because he might shoot a hammer that'll be in your way. Do that. You can do some firebar manipulation. Normally the firebar is in a position where you have to slow down. Like that. But sometimes if you are a little slow before the firebar, you do something like this. The firebar will not be in your way. It can almost be in your way though. I think if you're too slow, you will get hit. Or maybe not. But always, if you're big Mario or Fire Mario, always duck under there. I think if you're too fast, that's the case. That is a very, very hard jump to do. And the only downside is if you wait, Bowser's flames can be in the way. But honestly, I think that's just better to do that. Because, I mean, sometimes they won't. Use your fire to kill him. He does throw hammers because it's World 6 or 8. You can, if you're not Fire Mario, just kind of do that. But if you do have Fire Mario, blast him away. And World 6 has been done for this tutorial. We are only 2 more levels to go. Alright, so next one is another level with wind. You're gonna wanna jump in between those 2 plants and kind of just hop on that Koopa and jump like that. You can jump from the, actually no, you can't jump from the top there. What I do is I brush up on that pipe and like shoot that Koopa and like duck like that. You can do it many ways. I know the record does some weird thing where it's like kind of like that, but he kills the Koopa actually. Kind of like that, but what I do is something like that. Now, if you were to enter this level as small or big Mario, there's a power-up right there that you can collect. Now, if you're Fire Mario, I don't recommend going for that star, actually. And why? There can be a bad cheap that can hit you. And also, you can start, like, moving around with the star, and you won't be able to get the star. And then, if you're too slow from messing around with the star, you won't be able to get to the place where you want the star the most, which is this. If you are big Mario or small Mario, though, I do recommend going for that. But if you're Fire Mario, I don't recommend going for that. I'm going to show you a strat that I go for. Kill those enemies out of the way if you can. So kind of what I do is try to shoot that bro and then shoot the Koopa like that. You are very prone to not getting hit like that. The record does like some weird thing or like that. I don't entirely advise you go for that. That's kind of like a upper tier thing where like you want to go for that to get record. But if you are big only, which I should do the beginning of the level, for people who don't have fire, but you would have the star there. Wait this bullet bill out, and you're on your way. But let me actually hope my EverDrive doesn't crash. Actually knocked my EverDrive over. So if you are not fire, this is what you entirely want to do. You can kind of like do something like that. Mushroom, of course. If you are Big Mario, though, kind of do like that. I mean, this area is hard to do without fire. It really is. It can be hard to do with fire. That's basically all I wanted to show for 7-1 at the beginning there. Now we're on to 7-2. The beginning of 7-2 is kind of like 5-3, where you have this elevator, but you can't instantly run off of it. You have to wait a little bit. So what I do is, when that really deep note plays, like that, do a duck jump there. Or what you can do is this. When that higher note plays after that really deep note, you can hop off the elevator and onto the question mark block. But it's faster to do it like that. Hop on these two and go down this pipe. Kill that plant if you can. If you can't, be a little slower. That question mark at the beginning of the level is a power-up. And so, this is also a power-up. You can collect. This is really weird because, what I do is I snipe that dude. Sometimes if he doesn't die, you can just run under him. Like that. But you can do that, kill that spiny. Sometimes this Lakitu can throw a spiny right when you land on him. So what I recommend doing is kind of like slowing down and letting that Lakitu pass by. And like land on this block here and kill that Koopa, that Koopa, that Koopa, and then Lakitu. Unless he throws a spiny there. But this is just a really hard area to like determine like what strat you want to go for. So I do that. But honestly, there's a bunch of other things you can do. If you aren't fire, do something like, you can do something like this. But that's kind of weird. But if you really want to, you can hop on the Slack too, but I really don't recommend it. But this is just one of those areas where it's kind of hard. And like I said, he can throw a spiny if you land on him in a right spot, so that's why I don't entirely go for that bop right there. So finish level like the way I did, and now we're on to 7-3, one of the more famous levels of Lost levels. And so you're gonna want to have as much momentum as you can with these springs, so you can skip a spring each time. If you don't, just wait on one of those springs. This spring right here can actually despawn, and if you do, but you don't land on them, you have to kill yourself. You have to land in the pit below. But if this guy doesn't despawn, then just be on your way. That's a power up. That question mark block is a power up. Some people wait here. That's kind of better than just guessing from the air where he is. Sometimes, if you land on the far right of this of the spring, you can skip this spring, and a very precise jump, you can land on this thing. But I don't entirely recommend it. If you land on the left side, you won't make it. If you don't have enough momentum, you won't make it. So what I recommend doing is kind of like let that dude go all the way to the right or the left. Let the tree go to the left and land on the tree. Then just run off and land on him. Keep moving right. You will land on the blocks. If you don't feel comfortable enough going for that, you can always kind of just like wait here by the coins and kind of just do that. You can do like a full jump here, but what I personally do, since you might miss your A input, jump on this block and then up like that. Hope that fire bar is in a good position and you're through. Alright, so almost done with World 7. You're going to want to jump up here. Of course, if you're small, you can make it easy, but duck jump here if you're not small. You can clip through there. Power up right there if you need it. You can like do like some precise jump right there, but honestly, that's probably not worth going for. If you don't feel comfortable, you can just do that. So what you want to do, is I don't know if like these elevators get messed up. I think they do. They really don't. Do something like that. You can do like that, but I don't recommend that. What I recommend, I mean, you can do that as well, but sometimes Mario is weird like that. You can wait this fire bar out. That's what I recommend doing for beginners. Some people will do an interesting way, and they'll like just run up to him and snipe him. You can press B though on these gaps, and you won't shoot a fireball. And so what I do is just shoot as many as I can beforehand. Hop up here. You can clip into this wall, but what I just advise doing is just kind of just like waiting here, duck, and then do something like that. If you are too slow, just kind of like you can like do this. Whoa, that's a really interesting fire bar. Hope that his flames aren't in the way, and just hope to God he jumps at the right time. I can't advise exactly what you should do because this pattern can always vary. But if I'm Big Mario, honestly, just like try to just like jump at him. Honestly, that's like your best bet. Kind of like that, sort of. But if you're Fire Mario, you can just like you can always play it safe and just like shoot him from like way back here, and just kind of finish World 7. So one world left. Now it's World 8. An interesting thing you can do in this level that I want to show off. You can like clip into this pipe. Like that. You'll spawn in this area. If you get it first try, it does save some time. I don't know about second try though. But honestly, I think it's just better to just kind of go to the bottom route. And I'll show the bottom route as well. Kind of something like that. On All Stars, I don't know about Famicom Disk System version, but if you kill that plant, that Koopa, that first Koopa spawns higher on All Stars, but not on this version. And all these strats can apply to All Stars too. You know, you just do something like that. Try to minimize lag as much as possible by not having as many sprites on the screen, which usually is just jumping. Hop on those two Koopas if you have running speed. If you're small, you can't really make that, I don't think. Or you can, but what I recommend doing for small is just jumping on those two first Koopas, and you'll land down by the pipe. If you're Big Mario, though, try to hop on these two Koopas. And kill him. You know, you can hop on that dude if you're big, but if you're small, always wait. If you don't feel like dealing with this pattern, you can always wait here and kind of like kill him like that. Or no, you should do this as small or big, kind of like not die there like that, but wait him out like that. Power up right here. You want to be fast if you want to go for this because that hammer row can kill you. and basically don't get hit there if you can. I advise hopping up on here. Of course, always get the power up if you can. You can kill that hammer bro if he's up top. You can do something like that in this area. You can hop from here to here, but sometimes you might jump too early or press A too late. But you can always like do something like this. Not that, like this. Like that, kinda. Or like that. That works too. Hop on this brick. Hop, kill that plant if you can. If you can't, just wait him out. And we're done with 8-1. Alright, 3 more levels to go. 8-2 is a short level. You can kill that dude if you want to. You don't have to kill him. Try to kill the Koopas like that. Like, left side of the first Koopa. Because that reduces the lag. Sometimes a Koopa can spawn there. I always recommend duck jumping just in case. And wind, hop on the spring, land here, duck jump. This is kind of precise in a way. You can kind of do that. You need this Koopa to hop on this hop on this vine. If you're too low, you won't be able to make it entirely. So if you're like a little slow, just wait. But you can do this well if you're big Mario, but I don't recommend it. If you're small, obviously, you can do something like that. But if you're not small, duck, you can do something like that. That's fine. So, fine, goes up to the flag, and you finish 8-2. Moving on to 8-3 now. Cloud level, always very nice. If you don't have fire, you can just duck under that Lakitu and kind of hop on these two Koopas like this. If you do have fire though, you can kill that Lakitu. But if you don't feel comfortable, you can just duck jump. You can kill those guys if you can. If you can't, just jump around them. You can do something like that if you're big or small. Hop on those two like that. And there are invisible blocks right here. There's no real visual cue. Just kind of like jump, like in this area, and maybe you'll land. Wait a little bit on these elevators, and I recommend hopping on that Koopa. So in case you press A too late and you land in the pit and don't land on the Koopa, you'll die. So essentially that's 8-3. Alright, 8-4. So looking like this tutorial is going to be a little over 100 minutes. So 8-4. Some people will do like a buffer jump here, slow or release right. When they get off the first step, and they'll jump off the third step. If you don't like doing this at all, you can do the intended way, which is jump down here and kind of just like do that. But you can always experiment these strats for yourself. Wait on this Potaboo and do a big duck jump there. If you're big, if you're small, just do a regular jump there. You can take advantage of duck swimming here. Of course, if you're small, you don't have to worry about that. But kill this blooper if you can. If you can't kill him, just wait him out. Swim like that. Alright, there is a power up right here if you need it. Wait for that. There's different ways you can do this. You can kind of do that. But what I recommend doing is go up to the wall and hug it. So when you get up to the wall, once he reaches the wall, press left, and you'll go back down to the pipe. And do that. You can do a fast excel here if you wanted to. But what I want, or what I recommend, is go to the left side here and just build up running speed and jump. Um, that's a weird place for him to spawn. Some people do something like that. This is a maze area, so if you get the wrong, if you have the wrong Y position, the game will reset the maze. So, what I do is, that Koopa usually doesn't spawn this high. What I do, though, is I hop over that Koopa. He'll land on the elevator here, and he'll, like, I just, like, what I'll do, duck jump over that Koopa, at his normal height, and I just duck jump like this, over there like that. Like that. But some people will do something really weird, like something really weird where they hop off the Koopa. But that Koopa doesn't spawn that high normally, so some people do a weird thing where they'll clip into the wall here. Let's see if I can. You know, like, go high enough, and then you can just hop off of the Koopa like that. Now, you can always wait him out. How you can do that is kind of do something like that. Do something like that. And then get in the last room. You can do some risky strat where, kind of fireball that dude. I always recommend being big, and you can get a power up right here. Always be big entering this room, and the reason why is because you can clip into the wall like this. I demonstrated this in 4-4. You always want to be big entering this room so you can clip into here. If you don't, you will have to deal with Bruce, and it looks like he's a pal today. We could give Bruce a smooch. That was too close, but you get the idea. So, clip into the floor like that, you just have to do right and B, and you'll run off the pit and into the wall. You can clip into here, swag, or just go down here, whatever you prefer. And if you want, you can fire kill Bowser, but that's not necessary in this game, or in this category, because timing stops when you grab the axe. And just like that, that's a tutorial on Warpless 8-4. And we are all done. So this is a very good speedrun to do, and I definitely recommend it. It can be brutal, but every category takes time to get good at and a lot of practice, so I definitely recommend doing this category out. And there's only been one other tutorial made, but that was in Japanese, so I think an English tutorial was necessary for such a great speedrun. So yeah, that's all I have for this Warples 8-4 tutorial. Like I said at the beginning, I might make a Luigi tutorial later on once I get better at Luigi strats, or a Luigi expert can also do that. But this is a Mario tutorial, so hopefully people who have been thinking about doing lost levels but can't and find this tutorial, hopefully this can help you. And if it did help you, that's great. Have fun speedrunning. And so yeah, enjoy the Lost Levels Warpless speedrun.